Hi, hashtag table coders. How are you doing? Just touching base here. I thought we could knock heads about a halfway point here through the project and see if it might make things easier for one another going forward. Mentioning message sending here again. This course could also be called just message sending, because that's really what, when we're dealing with objects, that's what it's really all about. And what we mean by that is I would not ever try to code a hash table without a test file. And a test file does not have to be elaborate. It's just a little fun file that runs code, that runs our hash table. And we can use our creativity to do however elaborate we want to. We can do statistics, or we can just print. Either way, it's really going to have the same good effect. But one thing about it, we want to do it in a separate file. We don't want to put it in the hash table file. That'll hide some blocker bugs. There's another video, that actually 3-minute video that shows that it's called 2 lines of code and 3 blocker bugs. The key though is a separate file and a separate directory for your test code. So and test code, it can be very, very simple. Here again, it's message sending. So we're sending the message. And how do we know what message to send? Well, that's what this is really all about. That's what this course and that's what objects are really all about. So we want our ADTs to be open because we have to know what to code and what messages to send. And in this case here, I know get and put. I can tell it are the core methods. So right here, we can actually get a test ready before we even start coding, which is all just a few message sends. And they're always kind of the same. We send a message to construct the object, and then we send some messages to that object, and we test how it's responding. I'll be the message sends. So this here we can do this whole thing just based on the ADT, based on the ADT and any helper objects we have as well. We have a little customer helper object here that for testing because we have to put something into the hash table. All right, enough on that. I'm just going to maybe go through a couple of suggestions here. The other video from a couple of weeks ago, I think was kind of gave us a starting point. This is just kind of maybe some tips. If you're doing JavaScript, I would put an underscore before size because of the name conflict. It doesn't do very well with name conflicts, method name, ivar name. So I would underscore that. And then we do our constructors. And then as far as the methods go, we have a couple of gimmies. It's nice to do those right away. And then I would do the core because then we can start testing that core right away. This here, all we need is a put and a get implemented, and we can start testing. 2 methods and the constructor, of course. Get is something like this. And I just went by the algorithm that is provided in the notes and then just basically converted that algorithm to code, pseudocode, or this is JavaScript basically. Helper methods, get index from key. That's that's pretty much given for us in terms of what needs to be done there. If we go to, let's see here, not there, but if we go to the not association, if we go to the hash function, you'll find that's right here. We have actually that hash code to array index, a 3-step process, about 3 lines of code, something like that, given for us how to do that. And then we get the bucket in a simple way, the old-fashioned way. And then we can search, just do a plain old search for the association in that bucket. And then we can return as expected. And you'll find that the put and the remove key method are very similar to get. I mean, again, they need to have a bucket also, and remove key needs to have a bucket. So it's the same kind of step with just a little bit of different finishing touch, obviously. A couple things to remember on put and remove key. We need to adjust the size. One is an increment, one's a decrement. And then the other thing is to think about rehashing. I was just playing around and I was not rehashing. It was working fine for 10 and 100. All of a sudden I went to 1,000,000 and it was very slow. I don't know when it would have finished. So I aborted it, and then I got the rehash in there. So I think that's about it. JavaScript tip, one more little gotcha there, not gotcha, but a tip. Um, the hash code functions, which are given for you in one case and started for you in another case, they can go on the top of the hash table. They could probably go anywhere, but I just put them up there. That way we'll have hash code in JavaScript, just like we do in Java. It's built in Java, so you can actually just use that as is. All right, well, that's, I think, what we wanted to maybe knock heads on, and we'll talk to you soon.